Hello, I'm Tevon, and this is News Xstream. Tonight, we're diving into the escalating global trade storm driven by President Donald Trump's aggressive push on tariffs, sparking backlash from Wall Street, world leaders, and even cracks within his own party. Despite growing pressure from economists, investors, and political allies, President Trump is not backing down. With new tariffs set to hit this week, he told reporters he's not looking to pause implementation and insisted that negotiations and permanent tariffs can coexist. Let's look at this footage.
American industry was reborn the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy. For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen, we have a lot of them here with us today. They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago, and you are now, but you don't too often, for many years and decades even, you didn't hear too much about. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen. In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that. This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt, and it'll all happen very quickly. With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before. Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. And ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America. It's coming back. We're going to come back very strongly. We're pleased to be joined on this momentous occasion by Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D., thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Where are you, J.D.? No, that wasn't too hard to find. I was looking, he likes to take a low-key attitude, so usually we sit right in front. He's gaining a lot of confidence, Mike, isn't it? And nearly my entire cabinet is here, as well as Speaker Mike Johnson has done an amazing job. And with the great success we had last night in Florida, we have a majority of 7. And 7's like a lot when we had it at 1, right? You've done a fantastic job. And many of the members of the House and Senate are with us. Senators, congressmen, thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it. For decades, the United States slashed our trade barriers on other countries, while those nations placed massive tariffs on our products and created outrageous non-monetary barriers to decimate our industries. And in many cases, the non-monetary barriers were worse than the monetary ones. They manipulated their currencies, subsidized their exports, stole our intellectual property, imposed exorbitant VAT taxes to disadvantage our products, adopted unfair rules and technical standards and created filthy pollution havens. They were absolutely filthy, but they always came to us and they said, we're violating, we should pay for it. It's all detailed in a very big report by the U.S. Trade Representative on Foreign Trade Barriers, and I'll just hold it up for you. It's available, and you don't have to pay too much. As I understand it, you'll pay nothing. It's a lot of work for something, actually, because it's a special book. It's frankly, it's very upsetting when you read it, when you see what people have been doing to us for 30 years. This all happened with no response from the United States of America, none whatsoever. But those days are over.
Trump says these tariffs are about getting fair and good deals, claiming many countries are now coming to the table. But as markets flinch and global tensions rise, critics argue the costs of this strategy are becoming impossible to ignore. Markets responded with turbulence on Monday. The Dow plunged 350 points, the S&P dipped slightly, and while the Nasdaq saw a small boost, thanks to a surge from Nvidia, it wasn't enough to steady investor nerves. At one point, stocks briefly rallied on a false rumor that Trump might delay tariffs by 90 days. The president also ratcheted up the heat on China, threatening a staggering 50% additional tariff if China doesn't back down from its 34% retaliation. If fully enforced, the total cost of some goods coming into the US from China could climb to an eye-watering 104%. Meanwhile, Japan, America's largest foreign investor, is also on edge. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba said he's dispatching a top negotiating team after a tense 25-minute phone call with President Trump. Ishiba labeled the 24% tariffs on Japanese goods extremely unfortunate, warning they could weaken Japan's ability to invest in the US. And now, the money is talking back. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon reversed his earlier support, warning shareholders that Trump's tariffs could slow down growth by driving up costs. His bank just raised the odds of a recession from 40% to 60%. Billionaire investor Bill Ackman, once a vocal Trump supporter, didn't hold back on social media, calling the economic fallout bad math and saying, quote, "This is not what we voted for." He's among a chorus urging Trump to impose a 90-day pause and reassess the damage. A new bipartisan Senate bill seeks to limit Trump's power to impose tariffs unilaterally. It's gaining traction, with 7 Republican co-sponsors. But the White House has already made its position clear. It will veto the bill if it reaches Trump's desk. Senate Majority Leader John Thune dismissed its chances, calling the bill dead on arrival. Still, the cracks are visible. Some Republicans are urging Trump to accept the EU's offer of a 0-for-0 tariff deal. Others, like Congressman Darrell Issa, are demanding more transparency from the White House. So, what's next? For now, the Trump administration is forging ahead, promising fair deals, but risking the wrath of global markets and longtime allies in the process. As the tariff storm brews, the world watches and waits.